Hey, it's Patreon advertisement time. That's right. Your boy Matthew Donald has a Patreon at patreon.com/Matthew Donald. There you can find bonus content for both my podcast, The Right Wit and Paleobites. For the Paleobites bonus content, we discuss pop culture featuring prehistoric animals. And this month, we're talking about Jurassic World Evolution 2, the sequel to the game that I have 3,000 hours at least playtime on, and now, after just a couple of months of this one's release, I have about 1,000 on this one. The record held in place by the original game will be broken soon! It's great. Improved upon the original in pretty much every way. Good stuff. Link is in the description before you can sign up to the Patreon. Thank you for your support, and have a wonderful day. I have to do that differently every time. I mean, I don't have to, but I choose to. Why do I bring this on myself?
Roar, growl, snarl, bellow.
Welcome to Paleobites, the podcast that's the pepper to Saltosaurus. My name's Matthew Donald. Each week, I and a rotating series of guest co-hosts talk about and rate a genus of prehistoric animal, be it dinosaur, mammal, arthropod, and so on. This week, I'm joined by a bit of Pepper himself. And actually, no, you're kind of, I don't know what condiment you are. Anyways, it's Stephen Curro. How are you?
I like turmeric, personally.
Turmeric?
Hi.
Hi. Why? What's up? No, what the heck is turmeric?
Turmeric, it's an Indian spice. And,
Oh.
it's good for anti-inflammatory. And it just
Nice.
tastes good.
Which
so,
I feel like for Indian food might be important.
Yes.
So all the different spices are cool. Like I also need to get more into Indian food. I'm not really the biggest fan. Like I'm kind of a picky eater, but like my plan is to eventually get to a point where no matter where I go, there's something there I can eat.
That's a good goal.
Even if it's just the same thing every time. Like
Right.
and there was like this garlic pita bread thing that someone got from an Indian restaurant. I thought it was pretty good.
That stuff is so good.
Yeah.
Garlic naan is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, there is a Himalayan restaurant in Boulder. I'll take you there sometime.
Himalayan, so Nepalese food.
Yes. Well, India's,
Oh, I guess it's true.
it-
India,
there-
it's in
there's
India
some
too.
overlap, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's true. So.
But the vegetable korma is delicious.
Oh,
I'm
that
just
sounds
saying.
sounds good. All right, dinosaur-like question: if you had some dinosaur meats, what spice would you put on? I don't know. God, 100 episodes in, I just 120 at this point. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, with no knowledge of what it tastes like.
I'm going to assume that since T-Rex is more related to a chicken than an Allosaurus.
Ooh, actually, I remember a paleontologist, a kid asked a paleontologist, "Could you eat T-Rex?" And the paleontologist answered, "You could, but it would kill you."
It would kill you.
Because there's a reason we don't often eat meat-eating animals.
Ah.
We eat plant-eating animals, so and
like
in its bloodstream from the food it eats, it's just full of bacteria and other stuff. So whether the T-Rex eats you or you eat the T-Rex wins.
darn.
Although I guess the other way, you killed the T-Rex to eat it, so it's a mutual kill.
I guess so. Well, okay. So
You have to think of a plant eater, I guess.
if I were to eat a Triceratops or
Sure,
something, that
sure.
would be strange.
It's like a buffalo burger.
Maybe.
Like a
Triceratops burger.
Nasutoceratops, Kind of looks like a buffalo.
I don't know. Put some cumin on it and see what happens.
That's the thing. It's all experimentation, It's just like, who knows? It's trying to figure out X plus Y without knowing at all what Y is. And having no way of knowing what Y is. So
I never know what Y is.
no one knows. No one knows why. Math puns. Math is no fun. We talked about this last time. Remember, math is no fun.
This is why I was a language arts emphasis in college.
I feel like I talked about this in another episode of Paleobites before. I think maybe with Natasha. But so the biggest number we know of that's been defined is Graham's number. It's a guy named Graham calculated it. I'm like, how is that possible? Would it surely be Graham number plus 1? And then Graham number plus 2. Graham number to the power of Graham number.
I thought that Googleplexion was the largest named number.
Oh, no. Hell no.
Really?
Not even close.
They named something bigger than that.
Oh, yeah.
How much bigger are we
Okay,
talking?
so, you know how, Google is 1 followed by, is 100 zeros, so 10 to the
Yes.
power of 100.
Yes.
Googleplex is 10 to the power of Google.
Right.
Right, so 10 followed by Google zeros. Now, so you could write 10 to the power of Google, so 10 to the power of, or you could do an exponent of an exponent, in which case Googleplex is only 10 to the 10 to the 100. And these numbers are getting way bigger than that. It's the 10 to the 10 to the 10 to the 10. We're talking like just so many exponents. The exponents have so many exponents.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that blew my mind, realizing just how much numbers are when it's like, oh, Googleplex is infinitely big, right? Oh, you could write out super easy. 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 100. Boom, that's a Googleplex.
Well, yeah, in the short form.
Yeah, so...
What I don't understand about psychotically large numbers like that, they said supposedly for Googleplex, and I guess this would also extend to Graham's number, that supposedly there are not enough particles in the entire universe to count to equal that number.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't discovered exactly how big the universe is. So
that's true. How they know the universe could be infinite?
It could be.
Like, I don't know. Who knows? How did we get from talking about chef stuff to talking about math?
I don't know.
I think I brought. Yeah, that's right. X to the Y. Yes, or that's right. It was my bad. I apologize. Okay.
So which beastie are we talking about
We're
today?
talking about nothing to do with math. We're talking about Epicyon, or more than a dog, is what it means.
More than a dog. I love it. For the record, growing up, I thought this was pronounced Epicyon.
Epic. It looks like epic eon. Yeah.
Yes.
But no. CY, scion. Scion means dog. So, like, I did an episode called Amphicyon, an episode on that. It means like
sense.
a between dog, or like a sort of a dog, almost ambiguous dog is what it means.
Ambiguous dog.
It was like one of those bear dog things. So, but what this is, the type is a Borophaginine, a group of early canids, also known as the bone-crushing dogs. Woof.
Big. Scary.
So how big and how scary? Size 5 to 5.5 feet, just 1.5 to 1.7 meters long, 200 to 300 pounds, or 91 to 136 kilograms. So bigger than a Saint Bernard, bigger than a Mastiff, like bigger than any dog you can think of. What do you got over there on that book?
It just says they were capable of tremendous bite force and had large crushing teeth much like those of other bone crackers, such as hyenas.
Oh, yes, other bone crackers.
Bone cracker, not bone cruncher, yes.
Yeah. I like the word cracker. It's a slur for white people.
Yeah.
And because, as a white person, I think it's funny.
As I understand, the slur comes from the cracking of a whip and not...
Oh, that's a way darker place than I thought. I thought it would be because we're white like a saltine
that's
cracker.
That's what I thought, but apparently it has to do with like the cracking of a whip of the slave masters. So that's where it comes from.
That's so sad.
Yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to...
Okay, well, here, I'll bring it up a little bit. So, one of my friends, he is this guy I met in college. He's really cool. He's black. And sometimes he answers, when I call him, he answers the phone. It's like, "What's up, my N-word?"
Oh.
He calls me
he calls you
the black person is calling me the white person. And I think that is hysterical.
That is...
And also kind of nice.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Kind of thoughtful. And, you know, it's...
I mean, that's the way they brought power back to the word by calling each other that. That's...
Yes.
So... But never call them that.
No.
But
absolutely not.
I thought it was so funny for him to call me that.
Well, you know, it shows that he's willing to kind of, in a way, joke about his own.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, he does
his
sometimes.
Own way of being.
He's
and
sometimes.
Stuff like that.
He does. He's very funny.
Yeah, he sounds like.
All right, anyways, so diet's carnivore. Although I guess maybe it could have been an omnivore like some dogs are, but most wild dogs are carnivores, or at least not fully carnivores, but they're like not quite hyper carnivores, but mostly carnivores.
I bet it could eat berries or something if it really wanted to.
Yeah, but... just in case there's nothing else.
Yes.
Time early to late Miocene, 17 to 5 million years ago. 12 million years is a heck of a range.
Mm-hmm.
So location all throughout North America. It was described in 1858. Pop culture appearances. I bet in the classic Don Bluth movie "All Dogs Go to Heaven," it's somewhere in the background in the heaven scenes because it's dead. Because otherwise, I've got nothing.
Yeah, it's not a very well known.
Yeah,
I didn't even know about it until I read an issue of National Geographic. I should have looked up exactly which issue, but
yes,
they had an entire issue on the evolution of dogs.
Yes,
and they featured Epicyon. Excuse me.
Yes,
and I just remember looking at this. It looked like a big, scary, almost mastiff-like creature. Like
yeah.
Like a bull mastiff. But it was lunging at this horned ungulate with
Yeah,
yeah.
like some sort of pronghorn. I was going to talk about some of the animals that might have preyed on here a little bit later. The antelope Cossarix is the one that might have preyed on.
Right.
Pronghorn antelope of that time.
I just remember being so transfixed by that picture, like, whoa, that thing's awesome.
How did we look at those things? I mean, I guess wolves are a bit different, but it's just like that eventually became our little Chihuahua Pomeranian friends.
Right? It blows my mind. I have a golden doodle at home.
Yeah.
And I look at her and I'm like, you're technically a subspecies of a wolf? What?
Yeah, unless I saw this meme that was like a wolf. It's like, yeah, I kill and eat the intestines and bones of deer and other stuff. And the dog is like, if you give me the slightly wrong dog food, I have diarrhea the rest of the day.
Sounds about right. Lots of selective breeding going on. My favorite meme is there are these two wolves, and one of them says like, "Hey, there's a campfire over there and people with food," and the other one goes, "Yeah, let's go check it out. What's the worst thing that could happen?" And then
it shows a pug.
20,000 years later, it shows two dachshunds in sunflower costumes. It's just so goofy. But yes, like that's pretty much it right there.
That's pretty good. So Carnivora is a weird order. You can tell it was named early on in cladistical documentation because all it means is meat eater, like carnivore.
Makes sense.
Yet all it is are the dogs, cats, bears, mustelids, seals, etc., a special group of mammals that aren't even all carnivores.
If it eats something else, it's probably a carnivore.
Yeah, exactly. And also there's some carnivorous mammals, maybe not now anymore, but there were some that weren't in this order either, like the creodonts. Like Hyenodon from Walking with Beasts.
Oh, yeah.
Not a carnivore. I mean, it's a meat eater. It's not in the carnivora group.
Yeah, they need to do a little reshuffling, I think.
Yeah, it's like... But the problem is, like, that's how it is with taxonomy. Like, if it's called that, it sticks. Who came up with that rule? Why do we have Basilosaurus, but it's a whale?
But they, they rename animals all the time.
Do they? Do they rename them scientifically?
I mean, the really, 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 really big rhinoceros mammal. It was called Icrodurthium or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they renamed it to something else.
But that's probably because they had some evidence to change it to a different species, I guess. Because I guess, like, with the families, I guess we'd have to do, in order to rename it, you'd have to reshuffle the what it entailed. So, you can't just say, oh, by the way, that's the exact same family, we're just renaming it.
Oh.
There's a whole guide on, like, nomenclature for biology and taxonomy.
It's the 21st century. Let's fix it.
I know. add a footnote because I did this when talking about Yi Chi on this podcast before. The little dragon thing.
Yeah.
That is the shortest you can possibly get as a genus and species name according to the nomenclature. Like 2 and 2 letters.
Makes sense.
You cannot go any small. But I just want there to be like this is a cool looking name. So let's call it a Z.
A Z. Animal X. I don't know.
Yeah, a herd of Z hunts down the X. Again, going back to math. Oh God.
Oh lordy.
Anyways, but anyways, the carnivores, split into two major groups. There's the caniforms and the feliforms.
Yes.
And that's not just cats and dogs. Those are just the ones closer related to dogs and closer related to cats.
Right.
The caniforma includes dogs, but also dog-like carnivores such as bears, mustelids, seals and sea lions, raccoons, and
foxes.
Well, foxes, yeah, but those are closer to dogs. I think foxes are dogs.
They're they're their own thing.
Oh, really? I mean, I guess that makes sense.
They're close, but they are their own.
Out of all the dogs, they are the most cat-like.
True.
So, also a fun fact: a group of finnic foxes is known as a tangle.
Huh. A tangle of foxes.
A finnic foxes specifically.
Oh, specifically finnic. Those things are so cute. I love.
They are so cute.
I want one.
But the canids themselves first evolved around 38 million years ago from primitive caniformes. It was even earlier when the earliest members of carnivora split into caniformes and feliformes. We're not talking about that. We're talking about probably the biggest and baddest dog of all time, Epicyon, more than a dog. Which I think is a funny name. It's like how people call Batman less than a god, but more of a man.
Exactly.
This is less than a wolf, but more than a dog. Doesn't make sense because it's just bigger than any wolf, too. It wasn't like it was more than a dog, as it was still in the canid family. It was indeed a flat-out dog.
Mm-hmm. Big, very scary dog.
See, they just called it more dog. That would be like Pliocyon, I think.
Pliocyon. Oh, yeah.
Like Pliosaurus means more lizard, apparently, because it looks more like a lizard than Plesiosaurus, which means near lizard.
Huh.
I learned this recently. I learned things when studying on this show. Like a lot of the stuff I learned on this show.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you're hunting for your facts. You must
Yes,
stumble
exactly.
upon all kinds of
I do
strange-
this just to learn stuff too, because I think it's interesting. But anyways, they could also call it Mega Scion or giant dog.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of want to steal that and use it in a book.
Yeah. How about Dino Scion or Terrible Dog?
Giga Scion.
Giga Scion or even bigger dog, gigantic dog.
Allo Scion.
Oh, other dog.
Or strange dog.
Or
depending on your
strange dog,
translation.
yeah. Well, it's like, because like, again, like knowing about dinosaurs makes you learn all about etymology of other things. Allosexual just means anything that's not heterosexual, right? Like other.
Other sexual. No, I guess that would be.
Sort of like how pansexual means all, like Pangea means all Earth.
I guess it would be other sexual.
Yeah.
Anything.
Because I don't think anyone just says, "Oh, I'm just allosexual." It just means it's like it's another. I don't know. I'm not qualified as a heterosexual person who thought it was ace for the longest time, but then he changed his antidepressants and it was like, oh, there it is. There's my libido. Anyways.
Well, good for you. You found yourself.
Anyways, we we could also talk about a topic of dog genus names. If we ever find a fossilized skeleton of a prehistoric dog that looks like Happy or has a ball or is just doing good old dog things, we could call it Good Dog or Eocyon.
That would be perfect.
It's like Good Dog.
So what would be Bad Dog if we found like a really freaky
Well, I mean, there is Terrible Dog, like Terrible Lizard, so Dinosaur.
Dinosaur? Oh yeah, Dinosaur. Would do it.
I don't know what just bad is. Bad dog. Okay, hold on. Okay. What is bad in
Latin
Greek
or Greek.
or Latin? Miss. M-I-S.
Miss Scion.
Miss Scion.
There.
Bad dog.
Yeah. You find a really like one even scarier than Epicyon, which would be pretty scary to think about.
But when I think of bad dog, I don't think of like a scary dog. I think of like a dog that like got into like the chocolate brownies and is looking real sad and shit.
I
Just
suppose,
like
yeah.
bad dog.
A naughty dog.
Just,
like my sister's dog Luna.
yeah.
She was actually at our house a few episodes back.
Oh yes. Was she the little puppy?
Yes.
Oh.
She's still small, but she got bigger.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens with linear time.
Yes. She's staying at our house now, and she's a tornado. She's a Tasmanian devil.
Oh no.
She is a an Avatar, the Thanator, the big black wolfish thing. She's a Thanator.
Oh really? What about those little hyena ones? I feel like with the size it might be more. But I guess those hunt in packs while Thanator's alone. So.
Right.
So.
I don't know. I feel like she's like she's not creepy. She's just like crazy.
Yeah. Well, side note, apparently James Cameron has said, barring an asteroid hitting the Earth, the second one will come out in December 2022. So
It damn well better.
Yeah.
13 years for crying out loud.
and everyone's like, well, great, Cameron, you know everything. An asteroid's going to hit the Earth now.
He's jinxed us.
He jinxed. Anyways, so Epicyon compete with other predators, such as the bear Agriotherium, the feliforms Barbuophilus and Amphimacherodontus.
Interesting.
The Machaerodontids are the family of cats that include the saber-toothed cats, by the way.
Oh, I love those guys.
Yeah. So sort of like how I learned this recently. I don't know. I think the next episode or the one before that. I forget which one. I actually in my schedule I grouped these two together. So either the next episode or the one before this episode, I did Proalurus, or the first cat.
Well, that's perfect. We're doing cats and then doing dogs.
Yes. I think it's the one before this. But I talked about how cats are. It's not feline. Does not specify all cats. It's not synonymous with cats. Felids is all cats. Felines are specifically small cats and certain other big cats like cheetahs and mountain lions.
Oh, but felids
Are
is
all cats.
all-
Felines are those specific type of cats, and pantherines are like tigers and lions and leopards and other
Oh,
stuff.
That's good to know.
And Machaerodontines, I think, are the saber-toothed cats and other stuff. So they're unrelated to pantherines.
Okay. Say it again.
It looks like Machaerodontid.
Oh, but it's Macaro then.
I think it's Macaro, like it's based on again like Dinochirus, which is not pronounced Dinochirus.
I hate digraphs. Digraphs are stupid.
I kind of like it as like an English major, so but yeah, I get it though.
As an educator, it's a pain in the neck to teach my children,
my
students, that it's pronounced differently when it shouldn't be.
I mean, like, I often have a problem with, like, segmenting it too much based on, like, what I know of certain things. Like, you remember that the shark with the spiral mouth?
Yeah.
It's pronounced Helicoprion. But I was just looking, I was like, throughout the entire episode of it, which you can listen to, way back, I did an episode on that. I pronounced it helicoprion because I was segmenting it too much.
Right.
But like
Well,
helicopter, it's helicoprion.
It's easy to do that with these names. Though.
Yeah, so... Anyway, so Amphimacarodis is a cat it lived with. And fellow good dog, Borophagus, of which the Epicyon family name Borophaginae gets its name. Phagus, by the way, means eater. Like, it's sort of like vor, but also PHAG or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know the term sarcophagus?
Yes.
It means meat eater.
Really?
Yeah. And in fact, Albertosaurus...
Why would they call the coffin a meat eater?
Because I guess it rots you, over time.
That's weird.
But like Albertosaurus's species name is sarcophagus, and that's when I learned this. Like, what does sarcophagus means? Meat eater? Why is it called a sarcophagus that the mummies are in? Like
the meat eater of Alberta.
Yeah.
Meat-eating
Well,
lizard
a
of
meat-eating lizard from Alberta. The Alberta lizard. That's also a meat eater. Like,
okay. The more you know.
that sounds pretty cool, though. Albertosaurus sarcophagus. Anyway, so and as for what it hunted the camel Epicamels, which I remember. I think those were in that one Dinotopia book, Oasis.
Oh yes, the Apies.
Yeah, or it was Apiornis. One or two. I think it was the camel one because it was in the desert.
Camelus.
So
Yeah.
Apicamelus. Oh, this thing hunted that. The horse Neohyperion. And they previously mentioned Pronghorn Amblyocosaurix, and the rhinoceros Teloceros. Although I imagine only scavenged the last one. I don't know I don't care how much of a bone-crushing dog you are, Epicyon. You can't take on a fully grown rhino.
I mean, even a hyena won't fight an elephant. So,
Yeah.
you know.
And I looked at maybe this is a small rhino. Like, nope, it's the same size as a modern rhino. So
Yeah, I'd say that's pushing it, unless they hunted in packs, which
it's true. I mean, it is a dog. So
True.
dogs are social animals. Plus, pack hunting seems to happen a lot in like regions with like a bunch of prey animals in an open area, like a savanna. So, although again, also happens like in certain temperate and alpine regions, like with wolves. So I don't know how it works. Let's rate this Epicyon, the more than a dog, 1 out of 65 million. It's a good boy. It's a used scion.
You know, I have to go. I guess I always go high. I have to go particularly high on this one because he's a favorite of mine from my childhood. So
Okay.
I'm gonna give
It's
him.
the childhood multiplier.
I'm gonna give him a 63 million.
63 million. Wow, so close to perfect. Imagine how many dinosaurs you gave that were less than that. I mean, I guess, again, childhood multiplier. It's like, for some reason, Sign Raptor is my favorite dinosaur. I just found it when I was a child, and for the life of me, looking back at all the other dinosaurs, I have no clue why.
There you go. You know,
It's not particularly big or particularly notable. It just is cool, man.
it's all you need when you're a kid.
Yeah, just like Sign Raptor. That's so cool. Also, I pronounced it Sin Raptor back in the day. We're finding out it's like sign, like Chinese.
Once again, math, sine, cosine,
It's true. It's not cosine raptor or tangent raptor.
tangent raptor.
Speaking of tangents, that's this whole show. Anyways.
Pretty much.
Okay.
What are you rating it?
I don't know. 30 million. I mean, it's cool, I guess, but it's just a big dog. It's like one of those hellhounds from Ghostbusters. So I guess it's okay, fine, 40 million.
Fair enough.
There actually is a dinosaur called Zuul,
Really?
named after the Ghostbusters. It's an ankylosaurid.
I love how all these nerds are slowly
I mean, paleontology.
naming. I mean, like the paleontologists have always been nerds, but I love how,
Yeah.
people from more our generation are starting to, sneak these names here.
Well, and also I think it's cool when they're like referencing other dinosaur-related stuff. Like there's a Crichtonsaurus. You can actually, confusingly enough, build in Jurassic World Evolution. It's like, how does that work? Why is Michael Crichton in the universe of Jurassic World notable enough to have a dinosaur named after?
What existential horror is this?
Exactly. It's like, and also they doubled down on it in the second game. There's a plesiosaur called Attenboroughsaurus
Yes, I love it.
that you can have in the game. So.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That would be my dream, to have a dinosaur named after me with a Matasaurus. That's why there won't be. It's too lame. I don't have a cool...
Donaldosaurus.
I don't want that either.
Donald to Don.
Donald Don, I guess it'd be all right. But Don already, it's like... It's already in my name. It's like Iguana Donald is what it should be.
Iguana Donald. That'd be hilarious.
All right, well, that's it for this week. If you want to get a hold of the show, you can contact us at mattd@matthewdonaldcareer.com for any general questions to either co-hosts. You can find me on social media at MatthewDonaldCareer on Facebook, at MatthewDonald64 on Twitter, and MatthewDonald64 on Instagram. You have social media, but you don't really use it that much. Like, sometimes I tag you, and, like, when I do clips of our Paleobites episodes that we do, and you never respond to it.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's nothing personal. I try to stay off Facebook.
I mean,
these days.
good on you. I should, but I can't. I'm addicted to social media. I'm even on TikTok now.
Oh, you've been converted.
I've been converted. I'm watching these videos. Like, every video is so dumb. I have to keep watching. like,
I have a friend who actually sends me interesting TikTok.
some of them are really funny,
I
but a lot of them
to
are.
get an account, but I will watch.
Just give it time. It'll happen. You'll be sucked in.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anyways, also I have a book series on Amazon Megazoic available for print and Kindle. What about you? What are your books or works?
I have a sci-fi novelette called The Spark, which
Yes.
is available through Heareth Publishing,
Good.
and I
Very good.
also have a series of other short stories and poems appearing in various venues. You can look it all up on my website, StephenCurro.com. That's
Yes.
Stevens, but with a PH, and Curro, Curro.
And there's two C's, so Stephen C. Curro. So
Yes, this is
Stephen
C in the middle.
Curro.
Yeah, I guess if you really wanted to pronounce it phonetically, that
Stephen Curro. What's the stuff?
Stephen C. Curro.
Okay, yes,
Thank you.
that works better. All right. Also have another podcast called The Rit Wit, where two twits talk about writting. But otherwise, that's it for this week. As I say at the end of every episode of Paleobites, I mean, this is a dog, so. I mean, this would be like. Imagine it like bellowing like an alligator for some reason.
Yeah, it's not far off, probably.
Zuul.
Farewell, everyone.
Bye.